Good afternoon and welcome to another installment of Garage Chemistry. Today we're doing our third experiment in a series of looks at the chemistry of spies, including things like invisible inks. So today we're going to do one in which it's all about copper. So if we look down here, I have already in this little pot right here some copper sulfate, which we've seen before, and I'm going to use the copper sulfate to draw a little message on the paper here. And as you can see, it's not really showing up very much for you to see, because when you put light blue on a light blue paper, you don't see a whole lot. Now I'm going to close the lid on this little pot here so I keep it for later. And I'm going to give that an opportunity to dry. All right. So while this is getting an opportunity to dry, we're going to take ammonium carbonate. And we are going to put, 1 big spoon of ammonium carbonate. I need to pop the top on this one. 1 big spoon of ammonium carbonate into this Petri dish that we have on the tray down here on our working tray. So here we go. I'm going to put 1 big spoon's worth of ammonium carbonate in there, and just a big old blop of liquid. Doesn't look like much, but I can already smell it. I can smell it because ammonium carbonate, as the name kind of sounds like, is a place where is a compound which will off-gas ammonia. Now I'm going to put the message on top of that, and we're just going to let it sit for a moment or two as we talk about what is likely to start going on. So ammonium carbonate is able to split apart and generate a couple of different gases. One is ammonia, another is carbon dioxide. So as the compound is splitting apart and off-gassing these 2 different gases, we're very familiar with carbon dioxide. We all breathe it out every day. Ammonia is that stinky cleaning solution that you sometimes smell. Also sometimes gets associated with cat pee, because cat pee generally smells pretty strongly of ammonia. That's another fairly common gas that we know about. Well, what can happen is the ammonia, as it's off-gassing, can begin to combine with the copper in the solution and that we painted on here, and we can begin to see a little message. We may not be seeing all of it because there's a limited area that was able to be over that Petri dish, but my message: I love chem. So as the ammonia starts to stick to the copper, ammonia copper compounds are even darker and even more brightly blue than copper sulfate. So whereas the copper sulfate was a very pale blue on pale blue paper, the ammonia copper complex is a much darker blue, which shows up against the blue of the paper. That's it for this episode of Garage Chemistry. We've seen another example of a quote-unquote invisible ink that can be developed through the power of chemistry. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.